Do you use food as a pacifier when your feelings are so out of control and something triggers you? Maybe you struggle with overeating to the point of discomfort and you just can't stop yourself once you're in that zombie-like zone. Does this sound familiar? You could be suffering from attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. And today we're going to look at the connection between binge eating and ADHD and the tools to manage those intense desire to overeat. And if you're new around here, hi, I'm Alexis. I'm a certified nutritionist, and I have worked with many women who suffer from ADHD, and they all tend to have similar characteristics. One client in particular, she described her childhood as the classic trifecta of symptoms. She lacked impulse control around food, especially when she was feeling sad or lonely. She would eat past the point of nausea. She was emotionally immature with friends, and she had a hard time completing homework during her school years. Her constant sense of dread and overwhelm to get things done were all signs that she had ADHD. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 actionable techniques that you can use to manage your symptoms and lessen the amount of binges or desires to overeat. After hearing them, I really think that you're going to feel empowered and ready to take on the week without that pit in your stomach that I know you feel at the beginning of each week thinking, am I going to binge? Am I going to feel out of control? But first, why do people with ADHD tend to binge? What causes this desire? And why do these strong urges seem to impede any and all intentions that we have to lose weight? We have to understand the why. And these characteristics of ADHD that causes someone to just lose impulse control. The first one is impulsivity. It's a hallmark symptom of ADHD, and it's characterized by acting without forethought or consideration of consequences. Binge eating often involves doing without thinking, like consuming large amounts of food rapidly without feeling in control. The next characteristic is emotional dysregulation. Now, you may feel these intense mood swings or just very reactive to what people say and take everything as a criticism before thinking it through. And you may feel very stressed about the way you reacted, which then in turn becomes this vicious cycle of negative self-talk. Binge eating can really serve as a coping mechanism for dealing with negative emotions and stress as a way to self-soothe. Since there's a lack of impulse control, it just makes sense that you'll quickly and without haste turn to food for comfort during this time. The third trait is reward dysfunction. You know how our brains have this reward system that makes us feel really good when we do something enjoyable? This system just doesn't seem to work as well when you have ADHD. And it's like this specific brain needs so much more stimulation to feel the level of happiness when getting a reward compared to others. So they might go after things that give them that big kick of pleasure, like tasty foods loaded with sugar and fat. Now, binge eating triggers your reward system big time. The brain gets a big rush of intense happiness from all the delicious food you're consuming in that binge. And it's not typically steamed chicken and vegetables that you're chowing down on during these episodes. It's more like sweets and highly addictive foods with sugar, fat, and carbohydrates. Next up is executive functioning deficits. If you find it very difficult to create a list of tasks for yourself, or you jump from one thing to the next really without completing anything, or maybe you find it extremely difficult to regulate that triggering feeling of being out of control with all the things that you have to get done, these are all related to ADHD. You may not have the ability to plan out your day of eating, so you reach for whatever it is in front of you. Or maybe you get overwhelmed with even attempting to meal prep, so you never have anything pre-made on hand for you to turn to when hunger strikes. Later, I have a solution for this, so make sure you keep listening. The fifth issue for overeating when you have ADHD is medicine effects. So it definitely plays a role. The medications that's used for ADHD, such as stimulant medications like amphetamine, those can really suppress the appetite for the first few hours of taking it. But when they wear off, you could experience intense rebound hunger and overcompensate for having not eaten in the, earlier part of the day. I have 4 things that you can start doing today. And the last one will be such a game changer. It's such a helpful, actionable step in your journey. So make sure to keep watching. Now, The first thing I want us to do is start eating more foods with L-tyrosine. I'll give you some examples of meals you can have after I explain why. So, these foods are great for our brain's reward system because L-tyrosine helps make dopamine, a chemical that makes us feel good, right? And motivated. Dopamine is super important for regulating mood, motivation, and how rewarding things feel. So, eating foods high in L-tyrosine gives our brains a boost and keeps us feeling happy and focused. Great meal options that all contain L-tyrosine are turkey and spinach salads with almonds or sunflower seeds, a grilled chicken and quinoa bowl with any nut or seed, soybeans like tofu with brown rice, salmon and asparagus with dill or parsley, and lastly, a lentil and vegetable soup with a garnish of Greek yogurt. That would be a great option, but you can Google foods with L-tyrosine and put some things together that you would like. The second technique I have for you is the 20-minute timer technique. We can't let ourselves get too hungry at any point of the day because that will lead to a binge. So we need to plan out what we're going to eat each day, Monday through Sunday. And I suggest you get a timer and set it for 20 minutes. And during this time, you're going to get a journal or a piece of paper and you'll write down every meal and snack you'll have each day. I suggest you plan out your days with breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, and dessert. And that way you're eating consistently throughout the day, not constantly, but you're ensuring that you'll be eating enough and that your blood sugar won't be out of balance. And that really is important because we don't want our blood sugar to fall and leave you feeling ravenous. You can then just go on autopilot during the week and you'll never get that decision fatigue. Number 3, batch cooking, okay? And I know it sounds daunting, but the thought of making set meals ahead of time may sound really overwhelming to you. So instead, I would really suggest just making ingredients, getting the proteins that you like, the vegetables that you enjoy, and making them all at once, and then keeping them in maybe color-coded containers in your fridge, but they're easy to pull out and put together. And that way you have what you like. You don't have to be on like a set meal plan, but you at least have the foods that you know your body will like and that you will enjoy and make you feel really good. Fourth technique I have for you is implement a reward system. We all like immediate gratification. It makes us feel accomplished and satisfied. After completing the meal plan for the week, give yourself a gold star. I'm not kidding. After batch cooking things that keep you on track for the week, give yourself a gold star. Go to Staples, go to any store, get the pack of gold stars and literally put it on the piece of paper. And after 10 stars, give yourself something. Go get something for yourself, something with self-care, not food related, but maybe a manicure, get your hair done, something that really speaks to keeping yourself feeling good. I can't emphasize enough how keeping your life organized and tidy is essential for managing stress. So if you have a technique to manage your binge eating while having ADHD, please leave it in the comments below. I'm so curious. I would love to use it as a tool for my community here to reference if they need guidance. And if you need meal ideas to put into your planner, please check out my website, lexlovesfood.com. I have specific meals dedicated to your weight loss goals and weight management. So feel free to take a look at that. And thanks for watching.